Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special edition of GNN as we have the reveal of the new banner suit for the end of the month. And they made it big because, well, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner, it's pretty clear that the full armored double Zetta Gundam is coming to GBO2 as our next big suit. And just to differentiate from the FA-010S, this is the next culmination after the enhanced double Zetta. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at the trailer. I'm going to go break it down in a little bit. And we also have a development letter to go over as well. So let's get to it. And if you're wondering, sorry, chat and viewers on YouTube, sorry. If you're wondering why no face revealed today, well, I'm coming over a cold, so that's why I sound like I sound. So I'm going to try my best to make myself very clear with the limited resources that I have. So let's go. Oh man, thick boy's here. The thick boy is here. Of course, it's got the FA-010 rifle, yeah, or just the basic one that we know for the double Zetta. Saber, okay. So it's gonna be able to, it's gonna be a mid-liner pretty well. Okay. And chest gun, oh, chest gun, good. I think it's a stop the fire though. Link fire. Beam coating. Oh, so it's like Delta Gundam. Adds a support? What the f? All right, let's go back a little bit. Let me mute this really quick. All right, so just to make sure, since this is a support, I don't expect it to have melee combo controller. There's only a few that have that. But this is space, so what happens is suits that don't normally have balancers, but they have space compatibility, act like they have space, basically balancers in space. So it threw me off when I saw, okay, so those are two separate swings, okay. So it may not even have a combo controller, so it's just going to be a downswing and normal swings. But to reiterate stuff, you have a lot of mid-range options on the full armored double Zetta here in this case, because you have the head cannon to charge, you have the, what we like to say, oh crap button with the crotch gun, but then like the shoulder, the backpack laser guns. Or let me pause this for a second before we lose our spot here, because scrolling back, when you combine something with like link fire, which is kind of like, it's not really overload compared to like some of the other shooty suits that are in GBO2, but in the case of the full armored double Zetta, it allows essentially activates the skill during the activation performance of the corresponding weapon changes. So it changes the shoulder cannons altogether as far as they charge, and I think it's obviously a bigger chunk of damage, but the big kicker that this gets is it still has biosensor, which we'll get into in a second, but while we're rolling around with the suit, reduces half damage taken from range beam attacks, obviously by 30%, and it reduces reactions. The only suit that's had that in terms of beams is the Delta Gundam, so I was like, oh, this is basically Delta Gundam Electric Boogaloo Part 2. So mainly because when you read the other half of that is damage and reaction reduction ceases when HP drops below 50% and anti-beam armor is reduced to 50%. So yeah. Very nice in mechanics, but the biosense part is the scary part of the suit, is because at 50%, it gets faster mobility in melee, just like biosensor normally gives you. Get MA1 and offensive system 1. It doesn't say damage control, but I've heard from other folks, maybe, I don't know if it's just from other like mistranslations or typos or other sources that have yet to be confirmed, but we'll get into that shortly. But man, that is crazy. I'd like to fight it. I'd like to see how fast it melts, but I would like also on the polar half like to see how well this does. That's so crazy. Like just to see like it just float around, but man, I'd like to see it how it does in ground. So onto the development newsletter right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Basically, we have a new newsletter courtesy of the developers. Nagawa is actually coming here and saying basically that September's here and gone. Now we're pretty much on the cusp of October, and in short, they are switching the guard around. So basically, Oda's stepping down. Basically, he had COVID when he took Kobe's position the previous switch around, and been pretty much join in with a lot of the events that were going on. And so now Nagawa, the developer, one of the other developers, is taking the lead into GBO2 moving forward. And I'm giving you the short TLDR, which you can actually read on the website yourself if you feel like it. I'll put a link in the description below. Basically, he's been writing the newsletter for the last 3 months, and he's focused on map creation and other tasks on the development for GBO2. Since he's taking Oda's place, he's going to be planning the updates for GBO2 and, you know, basically wishing us the best moving forward here. And they also touch basis on the survey that they rolled out on September, midway through the month, and received a lot of responses. Technically, it was sent in Japan, but I know some of us also put in responses there as well. But just to reiterate, on top of the trailer that we saw, yes, the full armored double Zetta, to differentiate from the FA-010S that we already have in game already, is coming to GBO2. That is our current banner suit that's going to be coming in tomorrow night. And it's a 700 cost support. Big, floating, you know, mobile fortress of metal and, you know, main characterness. But coming in with the biosensor and link fire that we kind of touch bases on. It is also usable in grounded space, just to kind of reiterate that. I know a lot of folks tend to look at the trailer, it's like, why do we not see ground anymore? As far as like some of these trailers, and I don't know why. Maybe because they want to see like, maybe because there's more room to work. Hard to say. So they touch bases on a lot of the same stuff that we talked about with the trailer. Link fire changes the performance of ranged weapon compatible with the skill. So like the high mega cannon for the head, normal firing does continuous damage, can be inflicted by irradiation type beams, focuses required for firing, and weapon, basically the suit has to be stationary while focusing. With the link fire skill, in conjunction with the double cannon, it can inflict damage with a single shot type beam, causes the enemy to stronger stagger when hit, so it's a strong hard stagger. Explosion is detected at a point where the beam lands. Focusing is required to fire the beam, but it is possible to move while focusing. So that's crazy. It has a skill limit, so I think it's like 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the longest. because I know overload and overheat are kind of similar mechanics as well, so they don't run too long. So that's cool. Very much looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, it's the shoulder cannons and the head unit, which we don't even see. We just see the glow off the hyper beam sabers from like the rear. We don't actually see the head, but you know, in this little thumbnail that they demonstrate the skill, which I'll spare you guys playing it. Basically, that's what it does. And of course, we touching bases on the biosensor J, which is probably for judo. This is basically kind of breaking down everything that we talked about earlier with the biosensor gets maneuver armor 1, offensive 1. Disables reactions other than staggering. Moment skill. Yeah, so that's normal. Reduces the occurrence of damage reactions caused by accumulation of staggering. Might be the sentence that most people are looking at that kind of hints at damage control 1. Hard to say, but we won't know until the suit drops tomorrow night. And then I think my favorite part of the whole update is I know a lot of folks like, this is a generic, you know, mass driver map in, you know, based in California. I'm like, no, this is Blue Destiny. Do you know how many times I've played Mobile Suit Gundam Genesis and I'm like, this is the California specific portion of the California base that has the Blue Destiny on here. And I almost lost my mind for a second because I looked at the top part that you see on the bottom half of below the thumbnail, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this the same map that was in Code Fairy? Honestly, it could be them redoing it, and a lot of those assets are all reused anyways when you look at like how Code Fairy was actually made. But I am very looking forward to playing this with, you know, friends, with my clanmates, and the layout feels very organic. I mean, it's typical of, in terms of like, just you see sort of building, like whatever guidelines that they use, like the way they do zones and stuff. It's just, yeah, this feels very UC. So I just want to give it a go and just kind of like see how this plays, because I mean the buildings have the right height. They're taller than the mobile suits themselves, so they're not all super short like these little tanks here, the oil tanks that you see on the bottom thumbnail here with the Jukon and the dry dock. Well, actually it's not really dry dock, it's half submerged and covered and everything else. Probably in for repair, but it is going to be really cool to see. All I know is PS4 folks still might have some issues with this because we have water in here. And then unique battle zones, making easier stealth rate. Units cut off the line of fire. Okay. Move away from the center's more smaller cover. Yeah, so I think this is heavily inspired by the one specific map and set of missions in Code Fairy that involve California base. So this is another particular section on that, and it feels very you know, San Diego feeling, even though like the description for California bases, it's a long string of bases along the California coast. I'm like, I wish Gundam could fix that. And just to kind of close this out, they want to announce that the first GBO Autumn Festival is scheduled for this is JST, by the way, September 28th, which man, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to like, I'm guessing that's what this is for down here, the 27th for us in the States here. So yeah, that's it. That concludes our major update, because man, we've done all the talking. We've kind of more or less skimmed a lot of the other stuff that is coming. New map, new big thick boy mobile suit. The only thing that's left to do is well, we gotta play it. So thanks for watching, guys. That concludes today's surprise trailer stuff regarding the full armored double Zetta and the major update that's coming to GBO2 in less than a day. If you guys enjoyed it, please do not hesitate to hit that like button. Please make sure you're subscribed and let me know what you guys think about all the stuff that you see so far. Is this something you're going to pull for it? Do you think it's worthwhile, even though it's at 700? Do you think it's a debate because we still don't have our Rosen Zulu boy available? Whatever it is that comes to mind, please, I'd love to see, and I'll respond to those comments below. So until then, have a great day, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.